Today we're working out on a Bowflex PR1000, but you can do this routine on any flat bench style Bowflex. My name is Eric, I'm a certified personal trainer and I'm also a big runner. And anybody that's been a runner for a long time has probably had their fair share of injuries. And this routine is designed hopefully to help reduce injuries, strengthen those legs, because running is a very high impact sport. You a lot of times only have one leg on the ground and you're pushing off and absorbing a lot of force with it. And so we're gonna be focusing on, not just building some muscle, but also strengthening those joints where things commonly go wrong for runners. So today's routine is gonna be done in a HIIT style fashion. This clock here is gonna be counting everything down. The rest and work intervals are gonna vary throughout today's routine, but hopefully this is all easy to follow along with. Just give it a glance at the screen if you're not sure where we're at. This clock will be counting it down. There'll be previews of the lifts and everything as we go. A lot of our lifts too are going to be from a single foot, because when you're running, you generally only have one leg on the ground at a time. So it's going to activate a lot of these stabilizing muscles, but we're also still going to be targeting some of these larger muscle groups in our legs. So today's routine, you are going to need a few extra pieces of gear here. I've got a yoga mat. Our final lift is going to be a leg pull with a crunch mixed in. So it's kind of nice when you're on a concrete floor to soften it up a bit. I'm also going to be using some ankle straps as well, so you can just clip the weight directly onto your leg. We'll be doing some hip extensions, and it's kind of nice for that nice connection. But you can just use the normal Bowflex handles, open it up and shove your foot right through. Also, really hot in my garage, so I've got a towel here. And finally, I'm also going to be using this resistance upgrade kit that, as of the recording and release of this video, is not for sale, but it will be going up by the end of this month if all things come together here. So if that interests you, there'll be a link in the description where you can learn more about it and also sign up for an email list that's going to give you a notification when that goes live. So the rest of this routine, we are going to have a little 4-minute warm-up, and then we're going to rack up our resistance. Now during this warm-up, I'm going to do my normal go-to warm-up before I go for a run, so you can see how I do it. But if you have some suggestions on other exercises or stretches that you like doing before your runs, post that in the comments below. So without further ado, let's get into Bowflex For Runners. All right, let's start out with some calf raises. Plant both feet and then just raise up on your tippy toes and slowly drop. Focus on loosening up our ankles, our Achilles, our calf muscles, and we're gonna do this for another 10 seconds or so. And as we're doing this, there's going to be previews of all the lifts in today's routine up on the screen here. Okay, so let's move into some lunges here. And I'm going to step forward, drop down, and then raise back up. Be careful not to bump your knee on the ground. And we're just going to be engaging our quads, our glutes, and our knees as we go through this. And this is still going to hit the calf muscle as well, that we're stepping away from. And you can do reverse lunges. I'm just doing forward lunges here because I'm kind of in tight quarters. Keep watching that knee. Okay, let's move into some body weight squats. So we're gonna have our legs a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. And these are actually called prison squats, where I'm gonna have my hands up, like don't shoot, drop down and raise up out of this. And you should be exhaling as you come up. Now the reason we have our hands up like this is this is going to help loosen up our chest, which is going to be good for our breathing. And you can even throw in some arm swings as you go up as well. So up and then loosen up and then drop back down. Okay, from here we're going to do another squat variant. Legs are going to go a little bit wider apart, and then we're going to do side squats going side to side. And this is going to continue to loosen up those quads and the glutes, but also hit those hip flexors as well. A couple more of these, and then we're gonna move into some push-ups actually. And I like doing those just to get the body warming up and continue to loosen up that breathing airway here. Let's go into that now. I'm just gonna do 3 or 5 push-ups, and then I'm gonna hold the plank position with my arms fully extended here. And then I'm going to start bringing one knee up towards my elbow and continuing to loosen those hip flexors. Let's switch sides here. A few on each side. Back again. Okay, from here then, I like reaching this leg all the way back and then bringing it in towards my forehead here. And we're gonna hold it for 3, 2, 1, switch sides. Leg all the way outstretched behind us. Bring it in for 3, 2, and 1. One more on each side here. Stretch that leg out. Bring it in for 3, 2, and 1. Leg all the way out. 3, 2, and 1. Let's go into a little bit of a downward dog here, and we're gonna pedal really gently here. Keep loosening up our calves. And from here now, let's go ahead and stand up, and we're gonna finish things off with a hamstring stretch. So one foot in front of us, toe is kind of pointing up towards the ceiling. We're gonna reach down and raise up, and we're gonna do this about 3 or 4 times on each side. Okay, switch sides here. And I know I probably look ridiculous doing this, but you know, I'm on camera, you're not. Follow along with me here. Okay, let's rack up our weight. And we're gonna start things out with a front squat. You can normally go a little bit heavy on these, but I would really encourage you to be careful with your form. Kind of take it nice and smooth. So I'm gonna rack up 130 pounds of resistance. And I might be holding the handles out in front of me as I do this lift. So again, I'm using my resistance upgrade kit, though you can just use the power rods if you'd like, and really focus on really slow and smooth repetitions. And we can see how easy this kit clips up here. We just clip it, boom, right on, and our resistance has been added. So first lift is gonna be that front squat. So I'm gonna be standing here facing the tower, and then we curl this weight up so it's at shoulder height, and maybe you need to drop down to do that. And then we're gonna be doing a front squat just like this, dropping nice and smooth, and then raising up out of this. So as you do this, try to keep those knees pointing straight up. It's gonna be 1, 2. Now I'm not gonna be counting all these. We're just gonna be working during this work interval when the screen is green. And try to go nice and smooth. Keep those knees or those shins pointing straight up and down if you can. Go nice and smooth, slow squats. Okay. I gotta raise the audio level up a bit here. There we go. All right, so we're gonna be doing that 3 times in a row here. And as you do this, you know, again, focus on going nice and slow. And almost try to like sit down and then raise up if you can. But you know, go as comfortably or as low as you can comfortably go. Okay, let's get in position and raise up. Drop it down. Now, when it comes to your breathing during squats, think of how you breathe if you were in a swimming pool and you were dropping below the waterline about here. Hold your breath and exhale when you get to the top. Inhale before you drop. Okay, there we go. One more set of those coming up. And you're gonna see me sweating a lot during this routine, telling off a lot. It is 92 degrees outside. Feels like that temperature here in the garage right now. Anyways, let's get in position here and raise it up. Nice slow reps. Control the weight the whole way through. Whew. 15 more seconds, you got this. Okay, so we have a little bit longer rest interval here, and we're gonna go into Bulgarian split squats. And if you can't do these, I'm gonna show you how to do a lunge instead, because this is a tough lift. Okay, from here we're gonna do a Bulgarian split squat. And what I like doing is I like to sit on the bench here, see where my legs are kind of pointing straight up and down. Then I'm gonna step out basically one full shoe length in front of that foot. And that's where I'm gonna then plant this foot here out in front of me. And then I'm gonna take this other foot, put it on the bench, and I'm gonna try to drop down, straight down, and raise up out of it. Now, I'm not using any sort of additional weight. You can hold on to a dumbbell if you'd like, or even a couple of jugs of water on the side to add some more resistance. Now, if this lift is not working for you, I'd recommend doing a lunge where you're just gonna try to control the weight here all the way down and then raise up. I'll show you how to do that with some resistance between exercises here. So for now though, let's get in position for that split squat, and we're gonna drop straight down and raise up. Now, if your leg is pointing straight up and down, that's kind of where you wanna be as you do these. The further out your leg, the more glute engagement you're gonna get with this lift. Keep raising up nice and smooth. And to make it more quad dominant, the closer your leg is to the bench is gonna fire those quads even more. Okay, so I mentioned lunges. If you're doing that as an alternate to have some resistance, what you can do is you can grab this handle here, bring it up to your shoulder, and then you're gonna plant this leg that's close to the weight, drop down, and then raise up. And that would add a little bit more resistance to your lunge. So I'm gonna keep doing this Bulgarian split squat though. It's tough to say. Bring this leg way out in front, plant the other on the bench, toe on the bench, drop down and raise up here. Nice smooth repetitions here. Drop nice and low. Go as low as you can comfortably go, raise out. Okay, so we have a total of 6 of those coming up, or 6 in total, so we got 4 more coming up here. And we're just gonna keep alternating sides as we go through this. Again, hits those quads and those glutes. A little bit of body weight work here. All right, let's go ahead and get in position here. And we're gonna be dropping down in 3, 2, 1. Let's lower it down and raise it up. Again, the further away your leg is from the bench, the more glute engagement. And really just planning on one foot here. Also kind of working your balance and your ankles a bit here. Okay. Nice little rest interval here. Okay. Let's get in position, team. We got 5 seconds left. Leg on the bench. And now let's drop it back down and raise up. You got 10 more seconds. All right. One more on each side, whether you're doing the split squats or those lunges. Okay, 10 seconds left. Let's start to get in position. Leg back on the bench. And now let's lower and raise up here. Now this is kind of a faster paced routine, but I figure as a runner, you are in pretty good cardiovascular shape here. So we're moving pretty quickly between all these exercises. So you can take it slower if you'd really like. Maybe watch the video in 0.75 speed, put some music on, mute me. However you want to do it. Okay, so this is going to be our last set of these split squats. And from this, I'm going to show you what a calf raise would look like as well out of this position. Again, I'm going to show you an alternate on the calf raises. But let's finish these split squats. Let's drop it down and raise up. Let's finish these out. Real strong team. Feel that strength as you press up. Okay. So from here, there's two different variants of calf raises coming up. The first, I'm going to show you a bent leg calf raise from this position. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop down here, and then I focus on just raising up my heel off of the ground. Try to lift it, with our calf muscle, not with your quad here. And this is, I believe this hits the soleus. There's two parts of your calf muscle, the soleus and the gastrocnemius. One of them you hit when your leg is bent, the other you hit while your legs are straight. And I'm going to show you a way to do that here. Just with the handles, you can bring them up high and then raise them up together. And that's going to hit the other part of your calf. So I'm going to start here with these standing calf raises. Try to hold it in the fully extended position on your tippy toes, and then drop down. Okay, I'm going to put it together. We're going to be doing a total of 4 calf raises. Do the calf raises that you like doing here. I'm going to try doing some of these bent leg calf raises. This is, again, really tough lift. I know my form's not perfect on it, but we're all just getting stronger here together. So again, I'm going to have one foot on the bench here, dropping down, and then I'm going to try to raise up. And let me tell you, you can really feel a different part of your calf being worked with these. Certainly a much more advanced calf raise there. And you might see people do calf raises at the gym where they put a big dumbbell on their calves here and then they raise up like that. That's hitting the same muscle group. Unfortunately, the Bowflex just doesn't quite have the right angles for that particular motion. So doing it body weight style here. And I'm going to do one more of those and then back to the dual resisted calf raise here. And you can take a nice isometric hold in the fully extended position too. All right, taking my bench back apart. I don't think we need this for the rest of today's routine. So we got our final set of calf raises coming up, and then we're gonna do some single-legged deadlift, kind of a different exercise again, working on our balance and hitting those glutes. Okay, calf raise, final one of these, and raise it up. Take that isometric hold and then slowly drop. Also, if you have a step, you could do these on those as well. And then make it into a little bit of a drop even. All right, nice little break here before we go into our single leg deadlift. I'm actually going to drop the weight a little bit. I'm going down to 80 pounds of power rod, so I'm almost dropping the weight by half for this particular exercise. And we're going to take a look at how this goes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand back here with one leg basically at the foot of the machine here, probably just inside of it. And I'm going to step across here, and with my outer arm, I'm going to hold onto this handle. And from here, I'm going to keep this leg planted, and then I'm going to let this weight pull me in, and I'm going to stretch out like a Superman pose, and then swing in and up. So try to stretch out all the way, and then bring it back. And as you bring it back, really try to engage the glute of the leg that's planted on the ground here. And if your balance isn't great, you can use the bench a little bit for balance. If this is your first time doing this exercise and you're struggling, just stick with it. Keep, working on your balance through that whole motion. And that lift, I can really actually feel it in the arch of my foot too. The foot that's on the ground at least. So, all right, outer arm grabbing this handle, inner leg touching the bench, reach back, Superman pose, and swing it up. Again, we're engaging this glute of the leg that is planted on the ground. And we're really working on our balance here. Okay, one more of those on each side, and then we're moving into a hip extension, and that's where we're going to start using these ankle straps here. I'm just going to hook one up right now, or not. Okay, let's get in position. Outer arm on the handle, stretch it out, Superman, raise it up. Feel it in those glutes, the hamstring as well. Get a nice good stretch. Ten more seconds. I swear I feel my ankles and my feet just getting stronger throughout that whole repetition. Okay, let's get in position for our last one here. Pull it up. Raise that rear leg up as high as you can take it comfortably. And swing it forward here. Less than 10 seconds. Okay, so we're now moving into our hip work. I'm gonna use ankle straps, though you can use the Bowflex handles and just open them up. And once I get these clipped in, I'm removing my handles so I can clip directly onto the tower. I like using the same resistance that I just finished up with, so I got 80 pounds of power rods hooked up. I'm gonna hook up my outer foot here. And from this position, I like taking one hand, kind of putting it back here on the Bowflex. Careful though, because there's some sharp pieces back there, but once you get a good grip, what I like doing, planting this foot, and then I like bringing this foot back almost all the way to the pulley and then extend it all the way out. So let me get a little closer here, and I'm gonna extend it all the way out, really get a nice stretch in those hip flexors here, just like that. So here we go, let's go. 3, 2, 1, and stretch it out. Try to stay in control through this whole range of motion. Take it nice and slow. Now we've only got 2 on each side of this exercise. If your hip flexors need some more strength, you could definitely do a third one of these on each side, but trying to keep these videos, short and tight. And if you have problematic areas, I definitely recommend doing an extra set or 2 on that area. Really work out that muscle group, so you can kind of correct that imbalance that you might have. So speaking of imbalances and runners that have injuries, I certainly have had my fair share of Achilles injuries throughout my running lifetime, but since incorporating lots of calf raises, I've been able to really go a lot further in my runs than ever before. And right now, actually, as I record this, 7 days from now, I have a 5K where I'm going for a PR, but I'm really training for a half marathon at the moment. I'm up to that distance, but trying to hit a goal time of under an hour and 50 minutes, which is really moving pretty quick, at least in my opinion. Anyways, let's extend it out. So I don't mean to say that as a runner I don't run into injuries anymore. I still have Achilles problems sometimes after a really hard workout. And so one thing I've really learned over the past, 6 months or so about running is using your easy runs, or running a lot more miles, but running slow and easy. So it's less stress on your legs, but still creates that cardio conditioning. So if you're looking for maybe a good resource to learn more about that, I learned a lot through a book called 80-20 Running that was all about doing 80% of your miles at a slower pace. And that's really changed how I approach my runs. So it's really 1 to 2 days a week is when I actually push it if I'm running 5 days a week. Whew. Okay, we got 15 more seconds. And then we're gonna be on the ground. Okay, let's get on the ground here for our final exercise. That's gonna be a leg pull to crunch. So here's where I'm gonna get that yoga mat here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just connect one of my legs right on up here. And then we're gonna lie on our back on the yoga mat. And then from here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into a crunch as we lift our leg, and this resistance is certainly gonna make that crunch a lot harder to do here. Okay, we got a few seconds. Okay, let's finish this thing out strong, team. And now you can go all the way off the ground in more of a sit-up, or you can just do a crunch here. You know, raise that knee up nice and high. That's going to be hitting those hamstrings, your lower abs, and your upper abs, all in this one motion. Okay, let's switch the resistance onto the other leg. And we're going to be doing a total of 4 of these. 2 on each side. Okay, let's go in 3, 2, 1, lift it up and crunch. Okay, 1 more on each side. So while I'm disconnecting here and hooking up the other leg, I want to give a big shout out to my elite Ko-Fi and Patreon members. They help make producing these weekly workout videos possible for me and sustainable. So thank you to all them. Thank you to all the supporters through those channels. They get access to workout programs and other perks like an automated workout journal. All right, let's crunch it up. So if that stuff sounds interesting to you, be sure to check that out after this video. You know, having a workout program to follow is one of the best ways to commit to getting into better shape and fitness and meet a goal. And I've got programs for all levels here coming out. Actually, most of them are out already. All right, let's go ahead and flip in this other side. Now, the programs, I don't have a dedicated program for runners, but what I would recommend doing is, you know, if you're a runner, is maybe doing this routine 2 to 3 times a month, incorporating in it with other weight resistance or training routines on this machine, kind of mix up, with some upper body stuff as well. Chest and even your arms, as you run, you're swinging those back and forth. And so having some extra strength in your upper body can actually help your running as well, and also kind of help you achieve balance and improve your overall level of fitness. Okay, 10 more seconds, come on. All right, awesome job on finishing out this routine. Don't forget to remove those power rods from tension, wrap them up with a bungee cord, do something to keep them pointing up, straight up and down. So awesome job on finishing this routine. I hope you found it helpful, and hope you have some good runs, and hopefully, routines like this will help, keep you injury free and keep you strong. So thank you for joining me. And as always, I want you to be good to yourself, be good to others, and thank you for watching.